So red flag emotions are characterized as the really big scary ones that we tend to not want to act on. They're easy to think of as anger, fear, guilt, and sorrow. Okay, so sorrow is different, again, and we'll be going over that again a little bit more in the last class. But just to deal mostly with anger and anxiety, feelings of needing to defend ourselves or get away, base level emotional feelings. Those are incredibly helpful warnings. And again, as I was saying last week, we are in the habit of either entirely sort of denying them and saying, oh, rise above having these feelings, or there's also a whole lot of talk in the New Age or meditative field of people writing books and giving talks of feel all of your feelings and completely and utterly live within them, and that sounds kind of impulsive. So there's sort of one way where we're allowing ourselves to be impulsive and one way where we're sort of squashing things down. So noticing red flag emotions is just labeling the emotion and respectfully, so allowing it to have a purpose. If you're angry at someone, they very well may have done you wrong. They may be continuing to do you wrong, and it's an incredibly useful thing to know that you are angry at them. Obviously, we don't want to be acting from those emotions. So the highest and most obvious version of that would be to just go punch that person in the face, and I don't think any of us in here would do that. But there are much smaller ways in which we remain angry and act from anger, even when we're trying to do the right thing and we're trying to be the best people that we can, but we're still acting from an angry place. So this is still useful to analyze. Same with fear. We all act from fear and anxiety quite a bit to varying degrees. There's the panic attack running away response if we're at the highest level, but then there's also ways in which we may avoid opportunities in our lives or be a little bit less present in the moment or be a little bit less social and engaged, all based on fearful reactions to things. So these are incredibly useful emotions as far as being red flags. That's why they're labeled as such. There's something wrong, know that. That's incredibly helpful. So the practice around that really involves doing your best to bring the prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain in the front here that really contains your decision-making skills, your whole personality, along with memory further back in the brain, but the parts of you that are sort of higher self, that are higher thinking and are able to make decisions in a quality way, in a well-thought-out way. So to do that, we need to bring that part of the brain into play. And in the moment of I'm really, really pissed off or I'm really, really scared, we're mostly working from an older part of the brain that developed far before our higher functions, the amygdala, which we've talked about a few times. Bringing the PFC, the prefrontal cortex, in simply means naming the emotion. We went over some of this last week, but I like bringing it up again. You name the emotion and you name where it's coming from, bringing the PFC into play. Now, where I want to sort of go with this is that over time, just doing those two things, and the idea is from there you can then create a moment of presence. So you name this emotion and you name where it came from, and then you can create a moment of presence using your breath, using something you're listening to, even a brief moment to return yourself to sort of a state of neutrality and be able to make decisions from a higher self place, but literally a higher brain functioning place, okay, to avoid any too spiritual sounding talk, but quite literally a more functioning and more reliable part of your brain. So once we start doing that and also meditating at the same time, the moments of realization that we're really pissed off or that we're really, really scared will start to come far more quickly. And it's absolutely amazing the difference between, good, I was afraid that was 8. It's absolutely amazing the difference between not practicing and practicing, and how you're able to sort of sneak into that amygdala reaction. So you may find yourself closer and closer and closer to the point of anger, having this, whoa, what am I doing? And that's because the UF band that we've talked about, the insonate fasciculus, that I can send out the studies on again if you guys would like, that connects the prefrontal cortex and the amygdala, that's actually strengthening through all of the meditation practice. So you are having a faster response between the PFC and the amygdala. The PFC is literally getting involved more quickly because you've trained it